Guess who's back? Back again. It is your favorite podcast, Comic X.
Weeb.
That's right. Welcome back for the 22nd episode of ComicXWeeb. I am your co-host, James, aka Comics for Cheap, aka Free Cuba, aka man, look at this shirt though. It's swag. It's swag. All right. And I got my co-host with me.
It's your boy Chris, aka Black Santa, aka Holy Diver, aka Super Cold Water. Oh my God. Super cold water's in the house. And speaking of which, I was talking, and apparently I'm gonna have a visit from the shareholders soon. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. So me and the agent got to get together and deal with this situation because the shareholders are gonna be popping up. So y'all gonna get to see how that goes down. Hopefully it don't go down too bad. But your boy ain't never scared because your boy got the hottest bars in the game. You know what I'm saying? My man Sean Lucas also told me that before too. You know what I'm saying? Lucas. So we ready. We good.
Dude, speaking of Super Cold Water, the guy that I set up with this weekend at SavannahCon, which I'll go into a little bit about, his name is Super Comics, like SUPAH Comics. That's like his. I guess he was just scrambling for a name, and then he just kept it with that. Like, okay. I thought he was kidding when he told me his name was Super Comics, and I was like, really? Is that? And I guess he wasn't happy that I was making fun of his name. I was like, bro, you could have just called it JT's Comics. Like, come on, man. But it was just funny because the whole time I was thinking Super Cold Water because it's like Super Comics, and I was like, no, Super Cold Water.
That's right. Did you tell him that?
He wouldn't have gotten in, man.
Still should have told him. You gotta promote me, bro. Like, come on, man. I'm gonna go on a world tour. So I need you to get the promotion going. Right. So don't let me down, bro.
Hey, what's up? JBK's dad, and we also have Sad Cree here saying, "Hey, Chris,
what's good?"
So I went down to Savannah this weekend to set up at a show. I got my first ever vendor pass this last weekend. Now, it wasn't like me setting up in particular. I was actually helping this guy, Super Comics, set up, and he was just giving me early access to the show, and just for exchange for helping him out and running his booth here and there. And it was actually a lot of fun. It was a great experience. Savannah, as usual. I mean, Georgia, every time I go to Georgia, I find great stuff. So the week leading into going to Georgia, Devil went down to Georgia. Mm-hmm. I made a video talking about the books that I was going to be looking for. I got every single book on that list except for maybe one or two. I found in Georgia, which has never happened before. I usually I make a video like that, and it takes me like maybe 2, 3, 4 shows to find everything on that list. Yeah. But this is the first time that at the very first show I was able to scoop everything on that list, which was absolutely insane, and I'm like super excited about it. I'm still kind of like, I can't believe that happened, just because it just never does. So I was very excited, blessed that I was able to pick up on all my speculations for way cheap, and I was able to get some other stuff that I wasn't looking for that just kind of surprised me and jumped out of the bins like, grab me. And so I got those too. But what I did not like about Savannah was the drive there and back. Thank God. That drive was awful. So it was supposed to only be like 4 hours. It ended up taking me 5 hours both ways, just because of the traffic and like everyone having to stop, of course, when a cop pulls someone over. So everyone has to see what's going on. Although one, I will say, was pretty interesting because the cop was just like throwing shit out of this dude's trunk. And I was like, uh-oh, that can't be good. And just continue going. It's not good when a dude's sitting over on the side and a cop's just like throwing shit out of your trunk.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, on the way back, then we got stuck behind a very long procession of cars / people in the highway for like a Cuba protest or like raising awareness for everything that's going on in Cuba right now, which just made me angry, really, more than anything else. Not at Cuba, just at the people that were there.
Of course.
making me.
Of course. Because it's like, I understand you trying to raise awareness, but I gotta go home.
What's up, Nerd Nostalgia? He says, whoa, who were you grabbing at this con with a high-pitched voice? I was grabbing myself, and then like Michael Jackson, and that gave me the high-pitched voice. That's how. Dude, I saw this funny-ass video of someone showing how Michael Jackson got all those like weird noises and whatever. He's like juggling something hot. He's like, ooh, ooh, ooh,
It's also a lot of punches to the dick. That's also how you get those kind of high-pitched voices and stuff. And, Michael was a master at that. He punched himself in the crotch a whole lot.
I guess so. I don't know. I wasn't there for any of that, so I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I do like how, speaking of just on Michael Jackson, the thing that always fascinated me the most, and beyond all the like the court case nonsense, but his actual musical understanding and ability was probably unmatched by anybody. So what he would do is actually lay down vocal tracks for all the instruments and stuff. So like he knew exactly how he wanted certain instruments to sound and like the way the beat was going and like the rhythm and just everything, like all the chords and stuff. And he would sing all that beforehand for them to get right producing wise. And then he would lay down the actual vocals for the track. I just thought that was like extremely fascinating and really cool.
Yeah, man. That dude really was the king, bro. That dude was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Sure. Team America #1, CGC 9.8. No, I didn't pick up any Team America. That was not on my speculation list at all.
Speaking of Team America, Team USA, after having a very shaky and disturbing basketball, after having a very shaky and disturbing exhibition run, what happens in the first game against France? We get beat.
Lost.
First loss since like 2004 or some crap like that. It was a long time since we lost like this, like in the opening night. It was really weird, and it was like, this ain't going great. And then the players are already complaining about the head coach. It's just not going very well right now.
No, it's not. But we still have swimming. I don't know. For once every 4 years that I watch people go through water faster than I can walk on land. It's kind of crazy. I'm actually surprised by the amount of youth in the Olympics. Like it always just takes me aback. Like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like a 14-year-old competing on a world level in the Olympics is insane. Like I think there was like a 14-year-old swimmer from Canada. That was pretty fucking crazy. There was like a 14 or 15-year-old something else. And then of course gymnastics. It's like once you're 18, you seem to be out of the games altogether. So all of them are like under 18. It's just crazy the amount of pressure and stress I'm sure that's put on them at such a young age to perform at such high quality. I mean, it's just
that is amazing. Can't take that away from them. But at the same time, unless they're going to dribble a basketball, go join Teams in USA and start giving us some buckets and ball movement. I really don't care that much. Because it's all about Team USA basketball right now for me. And they got to get that done. We got to turn this around.
Got to turn it around.
Come on, Durant. Durantula. Do something.
Come on. You're in Japan.
Glenn Reaper or Waiter. Do something.
You went all the way out to Japan. I was about to say you drove all the way out to Japan, but that wouldn't be right. You flew all the way out to Japan to lose. Come on, son.
To France. France? The Frenchman? Come on, man. Come on, bro.
I mean, are they even tall in France? I don't even know. Like, come on, man. I was watching. First of all, I made the joke. I thought it was pretty funny. I was very impressed that the same one guy from China is competing in every single event from China.
That is so racist. Oh my God.
I was like, damn, that's inspiring. That's a lot of talent right there. No, I'm just kidding. But I was going to say the volleyball, because I personally just enjoy watching female volleyball for no reason other than the uniforms, maybe.
It's not weird whatsoever.
Look, it's not weird. I just like watching volleyball at the Olympic level. Yeah, it's just one of my favorite
female volleyball.
Yeah, just female volleyball though.
Okay,
male volleyball, not so much. But female volleyball, for some reason, I just really enjoy that, and running, running as well. I'm like, dang, they got some good running strides. I like to examine their stride. It's especially when they when they run it back in slow motion, I'm like, damn, that's impressive.
Nope, not getting weird at all. Totally normal.
Anyways, they have some tall people like from everywhere in the
Right.
volleyball stuff going down. I was like, golly, like taller than me. These people are like
Hot damn.
girls. I was like, I don't know, man. Like, if I were to meet a girl who was taller than me, I'm 6'6", by the way, for those of you who don't know, I'd be questioning a little bit, questioning a couple things, like, you know, are they really a girl? That'd just be the first thought that come to my mind. I don't know.
Right.
That's just me.
That's one way of looking at it for sure.
You just don't run into many girls.
She always gotta look down at you. You're used to looking down at everybody else, so
that's right.
Probably
like
mess with your like complex too. It'll make you like, what the fuck? I'm supposed to look down at you people, not the other way around.
That's right. Hey guys, have you seen the side-by-side video syncing up the end of Loki and WandaVision? And what the fuck was that up with the syncing half-court basketball shots at the Olympics? You'll have to answer that one, Chris. I don't know.
It was a really cool shot. I will say that it was a nice shot. So yeah, I'll definitely give it that. But Team USA.
What happened?
It was just a nice little, just a half court shot. It's just as simple as that. It was a wild half court shot. It was nice. It was cool, yeah. Just you know,
like a eyelash in my eye or something, man.
But just cool stuff. But did you see that shot that he's talking about with Wanda and Loki?
I didn't see anything. Have you seen the side by side video syncing up the end of Loki and WandaVision? It must be. I got to look for that after this because
we'll definitely take a look at that.
Or just let us know. Like, was there a good comparison, or was it like
was it something really crazy that popped off in there?
MSC says beach volleyball is better. Oh, I gotta watch the beach volleyball too. You know.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
The uniforms are just fantastic.
Okay, so let's turn this video to something else here because this is getting pretty.
Yes, please.
Me and Dino was talking the other day, and we was talking about, are certain movies destined to suck?
Ooh.
Or is it just the right team haven't put the movie together?
Yes.
Because I'm starting to wonder that.
Yes, we were definitely talking about that. So in particular, we're talking about like superhero movies.
Superhero movies indeed.
Just destined to suck.
Yes.
In particular, we were referencing Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Because every time they've tried to do Fantastic Four, it has been an absolute dumpster fire shit show. So we are just wondering, is that movie just destined to suck because of the characters? Is it just destined to suck in general because of the story? You know, or has it just not been done correctly up until this point? I was saying a little bit that I thought of any of the groups that would just be destined to suck that they made a movie for. I thought X-Men. I thought that X-Men would be just particularly hard to make a good movie, and that one ended up being one of the best. X-Men 1 and 2 just came out the gate, changed the game, revolutionized everything, and really just helped kick off this era of superhero movies that we are in. I don't think that the reason I said X-Men though is just because there's so many different characters that they could have pulled or used. The dynamic between the characters, just kind of like what they stand for, the whole, you know, how it's all pretty much a big giant metaphor for racism in the 60s and 50s, 60s, you know, going forward. And you know, each character has different powers, right? So it's there's that to worry about and explain, especially an origin story. So like I feel like that was just so much content to squeeze into one movie, but I feel like they did that one perfectly. While the Fantastic Four, on the other hand, it's just four people. Pretty simple origin story. They go to space, they go to like a space storm, and they get powers. That's pretty easy, right? And then you just come out and have pretty much just an origin story, but they just could not get it correct.
No.
It's a Fantastic Four is a cursed franchise. So how do you go forward, being as the end of this phase is Fantastic Four? How do we get a good movie?
Because it's like, okay, so it makes you wonder, why have the Fantastic Four movies just flat out sucked? Like you said, it's just 4 people, where the X-Men is a legit, it's a school of people.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it's going to have a whole lot of characters. And then in a way, maybe it does somewhat boil down to the characters too, because, Mr. Fantastic and his entire team, at times, they're not very interesting.
Right.
And if you look at the X-Men have a group of people that's interesting.
Yes.
And some people will say, arguably, again, some people will say maybe the weakest of their team is Cyclops in terms of interest. But if you really look at the character, Cyclops is actually a pretty interesting character himself. Jean is interesting. Wolverine obviously is the leader of interesting. He's the face of X-Men. Let's call it what it is. But even somebody like Beast, who is, just kind of a big blue nerd, even Beast can be very interesting.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
But when you look at the Fantastic Four, it's like, okay, name one thing that Invisible Woman did that you remember right now that says, damn, that was one of the coolest moments in comic.
Yeah, there really isn't too much. I mean, I think it's cool when they started being able to or when they wrote in, because it didn't start this way, but she was able to extend her force field to be able to like choke people out, kind of like the Vader force choke kind of thing. I mean, that was, whatever. But as far as like one feat that she did by herself, nothing just jumps out at me like, oh my gosh, you saved everyone and everything, or oh my gosh, this was a great solo storyline for you in particular.
Ben Grimm became a gag for getting his butt whooped by the Hulk, right?
Yeah. The heroes are only as interesting as their villains. The movies keep fucking up the villains. That's why the movies like The Dark Knight are so popular. The villains are just as memorable as the heroes. Okay, that's great.
That's a good point. But here's the thing too, though, and that's not a bad point at all. That's not bad at all. But Batman, at the end of the day, has one of the best galleries, but also has one of the weakest galleries too. I mean, you got a guy who literally runs around Kite Man. You got another jackass who walks around spraying you with ornaments and stuff with freaking ketchup and mustard and stuff. So Batman has some real bad stinkers himself. But Batman himself is super interesting. I mean, let's call it what it is. Outside of maybe the Joker, and I still think, honestly, each of them are equal in terms of interest, Batman is an extremely interesting character because of all of his flaws. You can't really say Batman is boring.
Right.
But you can make that argument with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and you can make that argument with some of the runs.
I mean, Reed, to me, his most interesting is when he's evil. Reed as a good guy is not really that interesting. Hell, the only thing I can really I mean, he has some feats that I can remember, but the things that I really like is times where, like in the Civil War, he was on a questionable side with Iron Man. Again, he wasn't his normal good cutty self, but that made him more interesting. Obviously, when he went complete evil. Yep,
that was interesting. I'd say also when he decided, when he led the charge to get rid of Hulk, I thought that was
that was also interesting too, as well as when I'm trying to remember the exact thing what he did. Either way, it'll come to me in like a second or two. But stuff like that is what make Reed more interesting. Johnny's an interesting character. Johnny Storm, he's interesting because of just how arrogant and douchey he is. But at the same time, you can say that about a lot of characters. So it's not like he's completely unique. Like Johnny Storm is not completely unique at all. I mean, when he got that like Nova power where he's able to just like basically blow up and stuff, he had a cool little feat there where he quote unquote sacrificed himself, even though it's comics, so he came back. But that was a cool moment. But again, that came in a sacrifice.
Sure.
It's stuff like that. It's just like the Fantastic Four themselves they're like what Marvel's first family, right? Yes. And that's cool. You can never take that away from them. And I'm not saying the Fantastic Four are a bunch of jobbers or there's no interest there at all. I'm just saying in terms of their movies, you have to like write them in such a unique way to really make their stuff good. Where in the X-Men, even though, hey, a bunch of the X-Men movies completely sucked, but that was more on the writing team than the characters, where I think Fantastic Four is a mixture of both. where the
Okay.
characters can be kind of hard to make them super interesting. Because
Right.
I'm worried that they're just going to make this Final Fantastic Four just a movie of like, it might be interesting, it might be cool, but it might end up just being a bunch of cameos from other heroes.
So how
Which
would you make the Fantastic Four movie a winner? Like how would you be like, all right, you know, fuck this noise, forget everything that you know about the Fantastic Four up to this point, right? For casual viewers who have just seen those movies, they suck. Change their mind with this movie.
that's the thing. I don't know right now.
Honestly, I think you make Reed like a super rich, seriously smart, replacing Tony Stark in a little bit of a way, but a little bit different just because he's not a weapons developer, right? He's
Right.
more into like the you know, call him like the new Jeff Bezos trying to get to space or whatever on his
Yeah, I was
own
gonna say more
private
into like
mission.
space type stuff, alien,
Yeah,
stuff like that, life on other planets, and just the
exactly.
in general how space even really works, just all that cool stuff like that.
Yeah. And then that's going to lead the team mission, everything like that. Obviously, that's what's going to give them their powers. I really don't want them introduced already having powers like Spider-Man was. I know we had like a million Spider-Man reboots already, so it was cool with Spider-Man to come in like cameoing in another movie and then boom, that's he's just kind of there and part of it. I really don't want them to do that with Fantastic Four. I really do want them to explain the origin at least a little bit, right? And then kind of going from there. I still think that Kang is going to be the Fantastic Four main threat, but I think it's going. Like we said before, I think it is going to lean towards Doctor Doom, and that kind of going forward for the next phase or two, just kind of similar to how Loki led to Thanos. So that would be the course that I would take there as far as a villain goes. Whether it's time travel or whatever the case may be, just kind of pushing that agenda there. And yeah, hopefully just hopefully not make it suck, man. Don't go for like cheesy comedy so much, but don't make it like, you know, too ultra serious either on the other hand. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, that's the thing, because you gotta keep a balance between ultra serious, obviously, which is bigger than serious, and comedy. You have
Ultra.
to have just explain it out there. You have to have that giant mixture.
MSC says the first Fantastic Four movie wasn't dreadful. I don't know, man. I
I
wasn't a
don't know
fan.
about all that, bro.
Yeah, you
I'm
might want to
sorry.
rewatch it.
They
You might want to
I would watch that
reevaluate.
again because I have
Yeah,
recently rewatched them all and was like, oh my god, yeah, it just gets worse and worse. I could not finish the recent one they made. I just couldn't finish it.
right. I think I watched 5 minutes of the one. I remember I told you the Silver Surfer one where he like flew
Mm-hmm.
through the building, and that's
Yeah.
exactly where I turned it off. I was like, no. The
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four never set out to be heroes. They are explorers and they deal with the things they find or unleash. That is true. That's the hook, and a proper Doom portrayal is key to the movie's success. Yes, I think a proper Doom introduction at the end will really drive the movie over the edge there.
That's true.
MSC says they basically have the flipping scripts. I'm not sure what that means. I'm sorry.
I don't either. Explain that a little better for us. We don't know what that exactly means.
Yeah, go
Because the
ahead. Yeah,
thing is,
explain
then
that.
you look because you look at the villain and you look at Doom, and it's like, my God, Doom is one of the top villains in all of Marvel. I mean,
Period.
it's villains in general because
You
of
ask
just how.
people who their favorite villain is, like half of them are going to say Doctor Doom.
Because he's so good. He's good at what he does. And what makes him so great is he truly believes he's doing the right thing.
Yes.
He truly believes
Which
that.
is
That like
always what a great villain is about. Like
exactly
they
when you truly
truly like
believe you're the hero and you actually understand that.
Mhm.
The only one who does a great job at not giving a freak about that is the Joker.
Mhm.
And the Joker's just rare because he knows what he's doing is bad. He knows he's not a good guy, but he's just great.
Right.
Like the Joker's just amazing, and just like anytime Joker enters a room, it's just like stuff. Business is just picked up. He's the life of the party. But that's the same way how Doom is in a lot of comics, and when he enters a situation. In the movies, though, they've done their best to make sure he's the most boring person there.
Right. Doom should be introduced in his own movie, in my opinion. similar to like Venom, only better than Venom, hopefully. Or I guess what else? What other Sony movies are going, like Morbius and Craven? I mean, it would be interesting for sure. Doom could carry his own movie,
He could.
without a
He can
doubt.
100% do that. But
But
then it
who are you
takes
going to
away
put
from what you
against
said
Doom?
earlier, though, James, that would mean the Fantastic Four, at least in Doom's timeline, already has their powers. Unless you're
Right.
just completely taking Doom away from the
That's what.
Fantastic
Yeah.
Four, which I'm
Right.
not a fan of that, at least.
Yeah, because
Because I think them being intertwined the way they are is one of
Yeah.
the biggest things about them. Like, they need
Mhm.
to still be together to build their tension and all their stuff, and it's jealousy and one Sue and all the other crap. So I'm
Mhm.
like, if we take that away, that still kind of sucks for me. So you would have to either make it so you only have two options: either he completely his own entity, like Venom kind of was, or at least as up to this point, or
Right.
you have to say this happens after whatever events of Fantastic Four, but the Fantastic Four, obviously Fantastic Four is going to come out. So either way, that's coming out
Right.
first. But I'm just saying it would have to be something where this happens after that movie, I guess. Or if he was going to do it first, it would still be something where the Fantastic Four, those guys still have their powers. It's just that Doom's doing his own thing.
Right. Yeah.
Something like that.
It would be strange to. It would be tough.
Yeah.
He could carry his own movie. It's just who are you going to put him up against? Like, what is his conflict and conflict resolution for that movie? I mean,
that's true, because
again,
I could think of names, but the problem is, one, they haven't been introduced, and two, it's going to take away from other heroes.
Right. Yeah. If you were to do like an
So
origin, kind of like Joker did, where it's Doom before he became Doom, kind of thing, I guess that would be something. But it just would.
but
I
it
don't
still
think it
has
would
to basically
succeed.
end with Doom. Okay, so somewhat spoilers here for the new Snake Eyes movie.
Oh
Do you care about this, James?
no, I'm not a GI Joe person.
Okay, so
Is it even
spoilers
out yet?
here. Huh?
Is it out? Did it come out last
Yes.
Friday? When
Yes.
did it
No.
come out? Oh, okay. All right, cool. So it's been a weekend. All right, go ahead.
Spoilers here for the Snake Eyes movie. So spoilers
Okay,
here.
go ahead.
They did a shitty job with the whole Snake Eyes thing, honestly. But spoilers here, and in a way, you guys have already been spoiled. So they actually show in the trailer the both end scenes. They show the ending of the movie in the trailer, and they show the credits in the trailer too.
Seriously?
Yeah, they
Okay.
seriously do that. They spoil both of. They literally just show that in the freaking trailer. So right there should kind of tell you that this movie ain't really that good. For if you're a GI Joe fan, it's not a good movie. If you're just a guy who's just wanting to watch, like matter of fact, Angry Joe said this perfectly. If you're a perfect person who wants like a popcorn type movie, then sure, it's probably fine for that. But if you're an actual GI Joe fan, you're not gonna like this movie at all.
Okay.
They don't actually show the whole him getting in his, like they show in the trailer, him doing his suit thing. That's the end of the movie. That literally happens at the end of the freaking movie. So that might be somewhat of a Doom thing, where if you still do that, you can't have him really be Doom throughout the whole movie for the origin story, right? So does
Right.
that mean he doesn't suit up as Doom until the end? I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's just similar with the Joker. He didn't really suit up until towards the end of the movie.
but do
And
you
then
think Doom can carry a movie like that, though?
I still think he can carry a movie. It's just a matter of like what is his conflict? Like what is he going up against? The Joker was going up against, oppression and the poor from poor against the rich basically in Gotham City. And what would Doom, I mean, are you going to talk about where he studied, how he studied alongside Reed, or are you going to talk about
I was just gonna say that means you still have to put the Fantastic Four in there,
yeah.
because you just have to. You have to
Right.
at least show a scene where him and Reed are having an argument, or the first time he meets Sue and he's just like infatuated and wants to hook up with her and wants to be with her or whatever. You have to still show that. Then you got to show Namor sneaking into their house and sneaking out. You know what I'm saying? And it smells. You got to show that kind of stuff, bro. Like,
They could introduce the members of Fantastic Four as people Doom meets when he comes to study in America, and develop the Reed Doom rivalry well before the FF get their powers. Yeah, so I mean, again, you're
again,
still going to
though,
have
that's still
Fantastic
putting the
Four.
Fantastic Four in there. That's still basically making it. Let's be honest, it's still making the Fantastic Four movie.
Right.
It's not like it's a Doom origin, but it's still a Fantastic Four movie. Basically, you're still relying on the Fantastic Four because Reed's gonna have to be basically his villain.
Yeah, well,
Grease
that's all I
gonna
was gonna
basically
say.
have to be
You're
that.
turning at that point because
And then
you're
Sue's gonna have to be
presenting
play a big part, maybe even a bigger part. So it's
right,
still a Fantastic Four movie, maybe a little bit more than a Doom movie, because at least with the Joker, you didn't have to actually have Batman do anything in that movie. You didn't
right,
have to have Batman do a thing in that movie whatsoever.
right. Yeah,
You can't do
and
that in a Doom movie.
you are because it's so like with the Joker, because it is focused on the Joker pretty much becomes the protagonist of the movie. So even though we know he's a villain and he's not doing things that are legal and he's out here freaking murdering people, you're still rooting for him, which makes him the protagonist. What is he, an anti-hero? Yeah, sure. But he's still like the hero of the movie as far as literature goes. That's the character you're rooting for. He's the one that all the action's happening to. The climax involves him, falling action, everything like that. So then with Doom, you're going to make the same thing. If you have a Doom solo movie, Doom is now your protagonist, and your antagonist is going to be the Fantastic Four because it's
Yeah,
showing you from his point of view. So all of his actions, climax, falling action, everything like that is going to be focused on Doom. Therefore, now you just made Doom a fucking hero, which just doesn't make sense. So I don't think that you could do that, which is why it's like it was so weird with Venom, and that's why I don't know how they're gonna do it with Morbius. I mean, I can kind of see it with Morbius because he was always a complicated character too, but Craven, no. It's just like I'm
man.
not on board with the villain movies as much. I know we're probably gonna get Spider-Man in the Venom movie, and the main villain is Carnage, who is, accurate to the comics. He is more evil and sinister than Venom is. And they have kind of made Venom more of a hero, I guess, in recent days. But
Yeah, because that's the
you
thing
can't do
with
that with Doom, man. You can't do
Cletus Cassidy being just a psychopath, and
yeah.
then fusing with the symbiotes. Definitely know how the symbiotes work more now, and then
Mhm.
fusing with the symbiotes and his craziness taking over, adding to all that, it just turns him into an even bigger, crazier guy because now he has the ability to kill and do crazy blood magic, basically, and put in the work.
Right.
Where Venom is not really, he was more of jealousy than pure evil. It was more of
Right.
jealousy that drove him to do bad things. So you can
Mhm.
see it makes it so much easier for him to be redeemed. Where when it's someone like Carnage, you can't really redeem Carnage.
Yeah, not really. JBK's dad says Doom movie villain could be the ruler of Latveria that Doom's family of gypsies are on the run from, and could end with Doom's mother making a deal with Mephisto. Oh God, here we go. With Mephisto for power that leads to her damnation. What is Doom,
Again,
the
now
Ghost
this
Rider
plot is
now?
completely crazy.
Yeah,
Now
now
we're
we have,
introducing Mephisto into this, and again,
and then
Doom.
Omega Red comes out of nowhere. Doom actually teams up with Ghost Rider for a second.
Newsworthy.
That's right.
Ghost Rider. Yep, Ghost Rider
Yeah,
shows up in
Ghost
there
Rider
too.
comes up. He's like, "Wait,
Uh,
y'all made a deal with Mephisto? I made a deal with Mephisto."
like,
And
I
then
made a deal with him. Oh man, this is crazy. We're like friends, right? No, not really. Stare in my eyes now.
now you got Doom, the spirit of vengeance, going on. It's like Doctor Doom with his head on fire and shit. Like they combine into one character.
I mean,
Doom with the penance stare. Hell yeah,
yeah,
dude,
yeah,
that was shit. Would be
exactly.
fucking dope,
Look in my
bro.
eyes. That would be dope, bro. That'd be crazy,
Look into
man.
my eyes.
Reading all them be shitting themselves. Sue's like, I
Oh
know
yeah.
what I gotta do. She starts undressing and everything. Look.
Look,
Look, man.
Sue, you sinning right now. That's all
Oh,
canon in comics. I mean, yes and no.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that could be really. But real quick though, I do want to say this.
Yes.
Then we're gonna get right back to what we're actually talking about. But I'm gonna mention this real quick. The new movie Old. The premise of that movie is really neat. The
Really?
execution of it's not
Because
so well, but the premise of it is crazy good.
I saw the trailer and I was like, man. I mean, that's the
The
M Night
premise is
Shyamalan movie,
interesting though.
right?
Like imagine I'm saying that's like his thing. He has great ideas, right?
Right.
But a
Mhm.
lot of execution recently, especially in the last like
Yeah.
10 years or so, the executions have been so terrible, probably more than
Oh
10
yeah.
years, has been so bad. But the ideas are really good. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that because just like the premises of being on an island that ages you so quickly and
Mhm.
in scenarios that can happen, that's really good. But of course, the execution of that movie is not that good. But yeah, that's
Yeah. I saw the trailer. It really didn't interest me as much. I mean, I get like every 30 minutes is a year on their life or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of an idea stolen from that Interstellar movie where they went down to a planet that aged them like way faster than uh like there was a team or what. I haven't seen this movie since it came out, but there was like a team in a rocket ship that had to
Mm-hmm.
send the second team down to the planet to either rescue someone or do something or whatever, and then
Mm-hmm.
come back. But like because of the time difference or how time moved on the planet versus
Right.
whatever, like it aged them ridiculously, and I don't know that idea is just
Well,
to
I
me.
will say this though. When did that movie come out?
Interstellar was probably around 2012-ish, 11,
Well, to
2011,
be
2012.
fair, I think this movie is actually one of his old ideas. I think it's from his I think somebody was telling me it's from like Sandcastle, a book he made a long time ago.
Okay.
So I mean, I think the idea is probably his, if that's accurate. If it's from the Sandcastle book, I don't know, because
Gotcha.
they do build a sandcastle at the end of that movie. Anyway, all right, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up.
Okay.
But
All right,
yeah,
we got a comment here. JBK's dad said, if some movie executive can greenlight the Venom symbiote making Eddie Brock breakfast, then we can get Doom with the pen and stare. And that's right.
bro, hold on. I could see the symbiote making him breakfast though. I mean, definitely the bond that they have, like currently, right now, even before all the Noel stuff happened, the
hmm
bond they have, legitly, I can see
hmm
them. I can see him making them breakfast. I
Yeah.
can totally see that.
Or him using it to make breakfast or whatever. Because I mean, Eddie does use Venom to do some stuff sometimes. I mean,
I
let's
mean,
be
let's
real.
be honest. If you had a symbiote suit that can make you breakfast, would you stop it from doing that?
No. No,
Exactly.
dude.
I'm like, dude, go right ahead. The only rule is don't burn down the house. Have fun, bro, and clean up whatever mess you make. That's all you gotta do. Enjoy
That's
it.
right. I think the thing with Fantastic Four is they really have to make Mr. Fantastic not likable, which they might not
Hmm.
want to do. That's interesting. I need some more on that. Please tell me some more
Yes,
about
please
why you would
elaborate
want to
what you
make
would do
him
or what you think when you or what you fully mean by making him unlikable. But he's
right.
right though. They don't want to do that.
I checked out the preview of Old when the kids grew from age 6 and 9 to their mid 20s, but they still wear the same swimsuits the whole time. Do they? I didn't even check. I didn't even peep that
That
in the
part
trailer.
is weird. Their
Oh,
clothes
that's funny.
practically age with them, like it grows with them. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Um, that is kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I guess they just couldn't explain it. They couldn't have them running around the island naked. So I guess they just kind of
I guess,
slipped that
but
one through.
there's also adult women there, so they can like, I don't know, maybe they. I mean, I would assume they would have like extra clothes to give them. It kind of goes there somewhat, but either way, yeah, somewhat spoiler alert to that movie though.
Yeah, it sucks.
when
Spoiler
two
alert.
when two of the kids get older, they like freak. Like they show it in the trailer where one of the girls get pregnant. Yeah, it's because her and one of another kid they just start banging when they get older. Like when they become of adulthood, they just start banging, and they're just like, "No, we were just playing. Like, where were you two at? Oh, we were just playing." Yeah, then she gets pregnant, and like,
Well, I mean, you did
obviously,
just go through puberty in half an hour, so I don't know.
yes, and then obviously their hormones are crazy. So then she has the baby, and the baby dies.
What? Well, damn.
Told you, spoilers. Add the spoiler there.
And then a kid shows up on the island, and he's like, "I see your baby. I see
Oh my God.
Sometimes
No,
they don't
Doctor
even know
Doom
they're
shows
dead."
up and he's like,
Yeah, Doctor
you
Doom
now
shows
will
up
harness this power
and
to
gives the baby the
age
penance
Reed
there.
and make him old and moldy, and then Sue would have to go with me then because she don't want no old ass man to take care of. He'll be pooping
That's
his
right.
pants. You don't want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, he's elastic, so I guess he could draw the wrinkles back.
Hmm.
Technically, honestly. I don't know. I was gonna
Hmm.
say that Doctor Doom shows up and gives the baby the penance there and just fucking sends him straight,
If the baby's already dead, what's the penance they're gonna do for that?
send him straight to hell, baby. Go visit my buddy Mephisto. See you later.
Oh my God.
That's why I only do anal on the beach. I'm so done. Y'all fucking dumb.
Yo,
Oh my god. All right, so Ryan says in elaboration, Reed in the comments is constantly so caught up in his ego, he brushes people off. and is often caught up in a similar form of a superiority complex, which isn't a heroic trait to have. That is true, and they don't really touch on that too much in the movies. I mean, you got to think about it. Even in like ASM #1, Spider-Man goes to join the Fantastic Four, and Reed basically is like, "Nah, bitch, like you ain't good enough, and you
That's
can
true.
go on your way. Like you ain't
Yeah.
part of this group." So I mean, just from the start, I wouldn't say he's as like egomaniac as like maybe Cyclops is sometimes, but
Here
it,
come the hatred of Cyclops.
here it comes. I just got to slip it in whenever I can.
Of course.
But I mean, he does think a lot of himself. Actually, I was just gonna say this. So Ryan says his ego rivals Tony Stark's, oftentimes
Mm.
exceeding it. That might be a bit hard for audiences to digest. I mean, they got it with Tony in Iron Man 1 that kicked off the whole thing.
No,
So,
that's true. That's true.
I don't know. I don't know if it like exceeds Tony because like when I think
I wouldn't
about
say I
Reed,
can't say it fully succeed. Like it goes past Tony's,
yeah,
but his ego at times you can
for
make
sure.
that argument because he has done some things. I mean, that's what a lot of his ego and brushing off people is also what heavily implies Sue going over to Namor and stuff like that. Stuff that those like incidents that go again is heavily implied.
Yo,
I'm not
Namor
saying it
always trying
happened.
to get in them pants though. I'm
I'm not
saying
saying it happened that she completely
constantly.
cheated on her husband. I'm not saying she didn't. I'm just saying.
No, he admits that it would never happen. I think there's a comic. I can't remember which one it is, but he actually like because Namor. Say what you will about Namor, like when he's talking and like his Namor's ego is just fucking unmatched by anyone.
See,
So
and the thing about Namor, and to be fair, Tony is too, but Namor is like, I feel honestly, if you look up, like in the Marvel universe, you look up the definition of an asshole, Namor would be one of the
Namor,
guys you'll see there.
but he had the balls to say directly to Reed, "Yeah, I've tried multiple times to sleep with your wife or whatever, or try to get her to come with me or whatever, but she never would do it because she's so devoted to
But
you."
the other problem is there's other incidents and other different people. But
Yeah,
that's also one of the reasons why when you have multiple people write stories,
yeah,
that's where it's like where in manga and anime, which I like a little bit more, you have one person usually consistently writing the story. So when they make the contradiction thing, you can go at them. In comics, you have so many different people writing that
yeah,
they do their own thing completely.
right. Do you think there's any chance they go the ultimate FF route? I mean, a lot of the movies are drawing from the Ultimate Universe.
Of
I've
course,
read
that's
Ultimate
basically what this
Spider-Man,
all is. That's why we got a Black Nick Fury.
right, and some of the other Ultimate stuff. I've never actually
Of
read
course.
Ultimate Fantastic Four though, so I couldn't tell you as far as like the differences. I've never actually sat
Yeah,
down to
there's
read.
differences. It's okay. I'm also really wondering, will
I know
they
zombies
introduce
show
her?
up.
Huh?
I said I know that zombies show up at some point
I mean,
in
zombies show
Ultimate
up in
Fantastic
everything.
Four.
Zombies
I
show
mean
up
the zombies.
in freaking yeah. I guess so. I've never been the biggest like fan of zombie movies, really. Like, I
No,
mean, I did enjoy 28 Days Later and the sequel or whatever, but
okay.
I never been like the giant. Like, I'm not like a zombie lover. Like, I love vampires, but zombies, I'm just like, yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see the newest one on Netflix from Snyder, where it was like a zombie heist movie where they go to Vegas and everything like that? I can't remember the
Is
name of the
Batista in
movie.
that movie?
Yeah, Batista's in that one.
Okay, I saw tons of freaking ads on it and
Yeah,
commercials, but I never actually seen the movie now.
it was like the idea of it in the first half was great, and then the second half just becomes your typical fucking zombie flick. So I was just like,
Uh,
but I gotta tell you, it held my interest in the first. It got me in the first half, bro, and then the second half,
I gotta ask. Spoiler
yeah,
alert in this aspect. Do
yeah,
Batista die?
yeah, yes,
God dang it.
I think so. Pretty sure he dies at the end. Yeah, because like I think he dies to save his daughter. I don't fucking remember. I think that's what happens though.
Hmm.
Like I said, the second half lost my interest quite a bit, and
Yeah.
then it just became like your typical zombie movie where, um, like of course the one guy thinks that he's invincible, but he got bit, so he's like trying to fucking escape. He makes it to the end of the movie, gets on a plane or whatever to like go wherever, and then becomes a zombie while on the plane. So of course he's gonna infect wherever else instead
Yeah.
of them having had it contained to Vegas. They and do all that shit. So
But
we
what if
have a
the
couple
plane
comments
goes down and crash and busts into flames? Wouldn't everybody up there die?
Yeah, they would. But that's why I said like that's how it ends though. It's just him on the plane and he becomes a fucking zombie, and that was it. I was like, okay, cool. Typical zombie. All right, so we have a couple comments here. So Ultimate Fantastic Four teenagers, they get their powers a bit differently. Okay. If we do Ultimate Fantastic Four in the MCU, it would be interesting to see Reed become the Maker, a hero turning into a villain subplot. Well, that's like kind of like what you were saying.
That's
Evil
what we were
Reed.
talking about earlier. Yeah, when
Mhm.
Reed is the bad guy, that's where he's his most interesting. That's what we were talking about
Batista dies killing zombie Jesus.
earlier. Zombie Jesus.
Zombie Jesus. There were like the old like the it was similar to Game of Thrones where they had like the Night King. So there were particular zombies that were more intelligent and kind of like the leaders of the
Right.
rest of the zombies, and they decided who would be the leader zombies and who would be like the not leader zombies. So
Mm-hmm.
it kind of was like that. Apparently Snyder wrote it, he claims, right after he did Dawn of the Dead, which I didn't even know he fucking did Dawn of the Dead until
I
I
didn't know
watched
that
that
either.
movie. Yeah, so he was like, "Oh yeah, this was totally like what I wrote back when I did Dawn of the Dead." And I was like, "You
Oh,
kind of pulled from a lot of other recent zombie movies though, especially
right.
towards the end there." But again, like them going so like the idea of it where there was a zombie infestation, it was contained to Las Vegas, and then there's a person who's trying to rob a casino in Las Vegas because there's no humans left. It's just zombies. So they're like, but there's a lot of money in a casino in Vegas, and we would like it. So that's basically like, but they had to get through the zombies to get the money and then get back out. So the first half,
Yeah,
the
and then
idea
you
of
have
it,
to go somewhere
pretty
where
fucking dope.
society's good and all the other stuff. Yeah,
But then it just became your typical,
of
oh,
course,
one person's
regular
bit,
old zombie
oh,
movie.
betrayal, and oh, someone has ulterior motives for the whole thing. Oh my god,
Of course.
I was just like, all right, well,
Yeah,
we were exciting for a second.
yeah, yeah.
What happened in Vegas didn't stay in Vegas.
No, it did not. My man got
No,
on that plane and
it
messed
got out.
everything up.
Yeah, bro.
For
But
real.
when you're a zombie in Vegas, bro, you got to keep that shit in Vegas. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, for real, for real.
But
Um,
obviously, I have to read Ultimate Fantastic Four because I didn't know that they were teenagers in the Ultimate Universe.
yeah. It's okay. I still find the Ultimate Universe at times meh.
I knew Johnny
It's,
was because Johnny pops up in Ultimate Spider-Man, but other than that, I didn't know.
yeah, I still find it as meh. I mean, because then it's like, well, that's interesting now. Actually, thinking about it, he brings up an interesting point. Because what if they do go down that route and they introduce? What if they introduce the Fantastic Four in a Spider-Man movie? Like they show up as teenagers in a school.
You talking about like in this upcoming Spider-Man movie?
What if they make a cameo at the end where they're like, we got new
How many
exchange
characters
students.
are we going to put into this fucking Spider-Man movie? Now we're adding the goddamn Fantastic Four, Chris. We have every fucking iteration of Spider-Man and his villains in this movie, and now it's the Fantastic Four. Chris!
James is needed. It's needed, James. We shove every freaking hero and villain in this movie that we can put in there.
For real.
Everybody's in there.
We're supposed to be getting a trailer this week.
He's gonna
Right,
Blade's gonna show up. He's gonna fight. He's gonna just fight a vampire. A vampire's gonna be there, and Blade's gonna just stab him in the back. The vampire's gonna dust. And he's gonna be like, "I'm Blade." And he's gonna leave.
And that's it. Just like a random 2 minutes has nothing to do with the rest of
the movie. That's all he's gonna say is "I'm Blade," and he's gonna get on his bike and just drop into the sunset. There's actually gonna be a sunset that he drops into.
Oh my god. That's ridiculous.
No, but
we're apparently supposed to get a trailer this upcoming week of for Far From Home. So or No Way Home. No Way Home.
Well, hopefully when it comes out, you'll send it to me because I'll probably be working and forget about it. So
I will send you the trailer if it does come out, but I doubt it.
You doubt it.
We are getting kind of close to when we should get a trailer. But every time they say, "Oh, trailer coming out next week,"
it just
like, "Oh, sweet, trailer coming out next week," and then it doesn't happen. So I don't think we're getting a trailer.
But it is interesting when you think about this too. Like you look at why have a lot of the DC movies sucked, and you look at like them rushing and not taking time. Because with the whole Ultron thing, which I thought was so cool, to me, the villain of the movie is not Ultron. It's the freaking Avengers and all of their flaws and all of the stuff that leads to Ultron. Remember, Ultron's really just, he's basically Tony Stark's. They have the same personality. Tony made him. He feeds off of Tony. They literally have the same, they cut the same corny jokes. Like, they have the same personality completely. And then he's just following what Tony told him to an extreme level, to an quote unquote AI's level. So he's listening to that and thinking of what he might want to do to, like, what he thinks is the best way to create world peace. He's just following
with no
what
emotional attachment.
Right. Yep. So he's looking at that like, okay, this is what needs to be done. And honestly, the Avengers are probably like, a lot of people really think that when he was looking, like, you know how Wanda was able to see future and all that stuff, that Ultron also saw that too. When he had like the time stone and all that crap, that he also looked into the future, and he might have known Thanos was coming. That's a huge possibility he did. And he knew that the Avengers would fail. Which, let's call it what it is, they failed.
Right.
If it wasn't for a bunch of shenanigans, Thanos really technically should have won this in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
It should have been that outcome, but of course, plot armor changes that. But DC could have did something extremely similar.
Sorry, he's just saying real quick, we're supposed to be getting a No Way Home trailer next week since April. That's why I'm saying, like, no, I mean, like, even in April they were saying No Way Home trailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why I don't believe
he's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's right about that. They did do that. So you might be on son too, Dino. But no, like, if like they could have did something extremely similar, and it wouldn't have really been biting off each other, because, I mean, to be fair, Marvel and DC bite off each other anyway. Their characters are extremely similar. Their storylines not really that similar, but at times you can see similarities between their stuff. But it would be just like if they would have introduced Brother Eye for Batman, right? And they could have went down a very similar cool path, and then it could have been a thing of which one was better, Brother Eye or Ultron. Instead, they just rushed everything with DC in their cinematic universe and just threw everybody together. And instead of taking a slow burn, which would have been a smarter thing to do, introducing the heroes one by one, they just rushed that stuff. And they forced themselves to fail in the grand scheme of things.
For sure. And I mean, they basically have 2 more chances to redeem themselves, because I'm not even counting this new Suicide Squad movie as like part of anything. They have the
I don't have much interest in that movie at all.
I mean, I'm still gonna watch it just because I have HBO. So
I'm gonna watch it. I just don't have much interest. I saw a trailer too when they was like, "Oh, he put Superman in the ER," and I'm like, "Man, shut the fuck up." Like, I'm so sick of that kind of crap.
Bloodshot or whatever. What's his name?
I don't even know. I guess they was just talking about him. I don't even give a damn. I'm so sick of that crap. Like, it's just pissing off Superman fan in me now, because I'm just like, and don't you dare bring up the crying shit. I swear to God, I will come to your house right now and I will choke you out. I'm so sick of this crap where they got to use Superman and make him come across a little bitch to get somebody else over.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's James Gunn. It's probably going to be funny. It's R-rated. It's going to be gory, profane. You know, we already know. Is it going to be a decent movie? Probably not. I'm just going to throw it out there. It's probably not going to be something that we just like watch and we're like, wow, that was incredible. No, it's going to be amusing for sure. Like, whatever. We'll talk about it for a week and then that's it.
But Superman would kill every single one of them with flat out ease.
Right. But as far as like the chances to redeem themselves, they have the new Batman movie with,
because the last Wonder Woman movie did not help them.
No, and they have Flashpoint, which I'm already biased against Flashpoint because I can't stand that kid actor. So they really just have Batman, and if Batman sucks, man, it's over.
I'm hearing a lot of things about it being canceled and not being canceled. I'm hearing nothing. Like, I am not confident in this. Because I'm hearing, like, it seems like every week there's a new story about whether this movie's going to come out or not.
Right. Like, Michael Keaton's coming, Michael Keaton's not coming. Ben Affleck's going to be in it, Ben Affleck's not going to be in it. Like, it's just so much, like, I can't even keep up with everything. JBK's dad says any AI worth a shit would realize that humans are the world's biggest threat in mere moments after becoming self-aware and learning history. That is true. I think
100% true.
Mother
That
Nature
is
has
honestly God
realized
the
that
truth
too.
right there.
Yeah,
it is true. Humans really
it's
are the
true.
worst threat, so it makes sense when an AI goes rogue.
That is Bloodsport's origin in the comics, so blame whoever made him. To be fair, so he sent. I didn't. Bloodsport. What he appears in a Superman comic, so you know I didn't read that shit. To be fair, Bloodsport's origin is that he put Superman in the ER.
Yeah,
I had no
I
idea.
understand that, but that was still a thing of holding back too. Like I'm just saying, like you don't need to go down that route to me. Like it's just so lame. It's like they have to do that to put these pieces of.
Oh, dude, I
just
was
fucking hate it, bro.
just about to say this. JBK's dad beat me to the punch. Shazam and Black Adam are the DC movie universe's only hope. I was about to say the one movie I'm super looking forward to is Black Adam. Like I am so excited for Black Adam that like I'm just really hoping it's going to be dope. I know The Rock has been like super excited about it, kind of promoting it, everything. I mean, obviously he should be excited at promoting his own movie, but like in comparison to Jungle Cruise or whatever garbage he just spewed out recently, like Black Adam is just going to be so fucking dope. I'm so excited. And he also just talked a whole bunch of trash about the Fast and Furious franchise, and he's leaving
Bro,
that apparently
yo,
now too.
calm
So
down, bro. Okay, hold on, bro. Family, bro. Family is the key.
Dude,
All right,
the memes about
we
family
are
are
family.
just cracking me up.
All right.
It's just like, what are you doing, step bro? Family.
Because James, at the end of the day, me and you, bro, will always be family.
Family.
So,
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? And we're also trying to build a family on this good old internet. I love the interaction that we have with our people on this podcast. You guys are freaking awesome.
Man.
I want to say that.
I would actually call you family.
Family.
God damn it.
Family.
But yeah,
but
no, he just talked some major trash about it, and now of course John Cena wants in on the franchise because John Cena just wants to do everything that The Rock did.
Of course, he has to do everything The Rock did. He has to be. Will he ever be as good as The Rock? No, but still, John Cena's doing whatever he can. Man.
Yeah, he's giving it a shot, bro. I give you a thumbs up for trying. I give you a thumbs up for trying, John Cena.
Your time is up. You can't see me. But seriously though, I want to make sure I go back to what my man said. He is right. That is my man's origin, but still, I just think it's crap. I even hate it when I read that stupid comic.
I have no idea. Yeah, I didn't know.
It's a lot of crap. Like it was a lot of crap. Like it also still. I'm honestly, God, it still also comes down to Superman and his whole back crap, which it's sometimes that gets annoying because it's like that's another thing about Superman. A lot of his stuff can be considered super boring. As interesting as Superman can be, that's why a lot of his comics definitely nowadays don't do as well as they did in the past, is because they continuously nerf Superman, and then they'll use the excuse of him holding back a lot of times, but they'll have him not, like, honestly, for a character like Superman, you got to somewhat put that dude over as just being what he is. And instead of continuously trying to nerf him to make him more relatable, Superman will never be relatable. Like, he's just not. He's an alien that gets powers from the fucking sun.
They try to make him relatable.
Is that relatable?
You know how they try to make him relatable?
He grew up in Kansas. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Who cares?
They make him cry. That's how they try to make him relatable.
Shut the fuck. All right, bro. No, that's cool. It's cool. I'll be seeing you in like 30 minutes, bro. It's cool. We boxing tonight, bro. We about to put some money on this stuff. We about to get some YouTube stuff. I'm about to knock you out. Look, all I'm saying. And I'll kick you in the nuts too. All I'm saying is, like, that's one of Superman's kind of problems too. They just they nerf him, try to make him even, and then they'll like have this big moment where he'll do something, but it's just like
it's hard to make like
they have a problem getting somebody to really write a good Superman story. They don't know how. Exactly. It's like people don't understand the character anymore.
Right. It's just because like he's so unbeatable that they always have to resort to the kryptonite, or they always have to resort to whatever to like beat him or weaken him or whatever it is. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Like I don't know, because like the dude literally just doesn't even flinch when stopping a bullet. So you're gonna tell me that punching him in the face is gonna send him backwards or whatever? Like it's just so it's hard to read at some points, just because like exactly like you said, and like we were discussing earlier, a good hero is defined by good villains, and Superman don't really have good villains, man. Like he
Lex
just,
Luthor is amazing.
I mean, well,
Brainiac
okay,
is
Lex Luthor,
good.
Lex Luthor
Superman
is
has good villains though.
like Lex Luthor for me. Lex Luthor is pretty much it. Like, yeah, Doomsday killed him,
You
but
don't think
again,
Brainiac's a good villain?
is Brainiac like dedicated to Superman? Like, is he just
Yes.
okay? All right, well then Brainiac too, yeah. But that's it for me. I thought Brainiac was more of like a Justice League slash Flash,
No,
to be honest.
Brainiac's deal was with Superman.
Okay,
The
all right,
Justice League
my
was
bad,
just there.
my bad,
Like
my bad.
Brainiac's biggest thing is Superman. Like he
Okay,
wants to take, in a way, he wants to take Superman's body, like Orochimaru wanted to do Sasuke, just take that young. Anyway, so it's
well
just
now,
like I think Superman does have some good villains. And I also think, and again, you are talking to a big Superman fan.
right. Ryan says that Pete Tomasi did a really good Superman run that focused more on his day-to-day life, while also not holding back on him being powerful. Probably one of the better Superman runs. Okay, so I guess I got to check out Pete Tomasi's run on Superman. And I think Zod is a good villain for Superman. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about Zod.
Exactly.
Okay,
Zod is also like I can keep
Zod
naming
is pretty
villains too.
dope.
Like Superman, my man is 100% right. See that man right there? Family. Like it's just 100% right, bro. Like Superman has a great art gallery. It's just that's like it's also like if you watch the Superman animated series, the way they did Superman there was perfect. And then when you look at Justice League, the first season, they did Superman so bad. What?
Mr. Mixopolk, whatever the fuck.
Yes, he's a great villain too. He is also at this little pixie craziness.
Parasite. Parasite.
Parasite was cool too. So that's what I'm saying though. Like stuff like that. Lobwire was cool. Like there's a lot of things they have that's so cool. But the way they do them nowadays is just so dirty, bro. Like they just do Superman so wrong. And in the first season of Justice League, and even the creator said this, the biggest issue was Superman because they didn't want to show him as just being super overpowered to the point where it's like, why the hell does he even need the Justice League with him?
Exactly.
Because they were like, in reality, he doesn't really need them.
Right.
If Superman goes full on Superman. So it was like their biggest problem is because there's so many things in the first season of Justice League where Superman's getting his ass whooped and you're just like, that shouldn't happen. Like this jabroni should not be working Superman over. But they fixed it in the second season and made Superman what he was supposed to be.
So JBK's dad says Silver Banshee. So I don't even fucking know. You guys are pulling these characters out of your ass. I swear. You're like looking up Superman villains.
Parasite is oh, you're
like,
saying that
Silver Banshee. Yeah, they out here Googling shit, bro. Look.
They're like, what is Superman's art gallery?
Yeah, what is this Rose Gallery?
Dude, Parasite is an awesome villain, though. They're not lying, though. These villains are fire. But no,
our Superman is just Superman. Like they ran out of fucking villain ideas. They're like, just make Superman's villain. Oh my god, I can't. All right, but I will say, I do agree.
Darkseid. You telling me Darkseid ain't cool?
I mean, Darkseid, yeah, but Darkseid is like
Darkseid is a better Thanos. Yeah, come at me. And if Darkseid and Thanos fought hand to hand, Thanos had 10 times out of 10, Thanos loses. Right. Like he can't touch Darkseid. Darkseid is on a whole nother level of power.
Animated Justice League TV show universe is my favorite connected universe. All right. I still need to watch a lot of that animated stuff. I know Chris.
I'm saying, I were talking about Superman, bro. They do him so great. They do him great. Yeah, they do all of them great. Batman, Superman, Spider-Man. But this is not DC, but still. X-Men, all those guys. Batman Beyond, we talked about before. They do a great job. And again, Justice League season 1 is still great. It's just the Superman was the biggest issue, and it was like their main focus was fixing that in the second season. And they did a good job at fixing that because they showed Superman to come across as being more powerful, but still knowing when to utilize that instead of just having him come across as like, oh, he needs help from these guys, when in reality he really wouldn't. And not saying like Justice League ain't needed. It's just there was fights that he would have, and you're just like, Superman should just work these people. Why is he getting worked by these weaklings?
Right.
Why is he being completely outsmart like he's an idiot? Like he's just some muscled up jackass. That's not Superman.
Right.
Superman's very
And
intelligent.
I agree that it is hard to, especially with him as part of the Justice League, like you were saying, why would he need a team when, I mean, let's be real, Superman could take out a lot of threats just by himself. So then it goes beyond, it's beyond an Avengers level threat. I mean, a Justice League level threat has to be so crazy, but there's only, like, how many times can you continue to come up with something original that's like a Justice League level threat? And that's just kind of like my issue. It's just he is a little bit too overpowerful. But I will say that I think that I like how they touch on that subject a little bit with the Invincible storyline, because Omni-Man does make sure that he separates himself from the Guardians of the Globe. Kind of, I mean, in the beginning, for that reason, obviously, you find out later that there's other intentions behind it, but keeping the Superman character out of like the Justice League type thing dynamic that they have going on there, I thought that was an interesting comment on the whole situation.
But that was the thing that also still made Justice League amazing. They was able to figure out how to have these guys fight these villains and why would they need to be together, and still have at times with them arguing, saying, hey, on my own, I was able to do this and do that. So why the hell do I need to have you guys help me? Like, they did such a great job with that. But then you look at the comics runs a lot of times and just like, damn, what the fuck? Because this stuff is garbage.
JBK's dad is still looking up villains for us. Metallo is his newest addition to.
Okay, Metallo is pretty cool. He's basically just like an android with kryptonite, but his backstory is pretty tragic. But again, and, he's there.
Kryptonite, so
he's there. No, I'm saying again, yes. Right, you have to have different things to weaken and take Superman out in a lot of ways, but it's just.
Shit, Batman carries kryptonite on his fucking belt.
Weaker than he is.
All you gotta do is take out Batman, and then take the kryptonite right off his belt, and you can take off Superman too while you're at it. Because Batman carries it around with him just in case. Batman should be the real fucking the villain of Superman.
No, and that's another thing. Oh, my man got here.
Ryan says another thing with Invincible is almost every single villain in that comic is stronger than one of the main villains, making the fights interesting. I think he meant main heroes, making the fights interesting. And I agree with that, because I do. Watching that show. I know I still haven't read too much of the comic, but watching
you should, bro, because a lot of stuff happens, brother.
I know. I do need to read it.
And they do a great job really demonstrating Omni-Man, the true version of him and who he really is. This is great stuff, man.
Yeah. I agree. I need to read it. I really do. I just need to get my hands on
so we can actually talk about it.
To read it.
I know how the series ends. I want to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. But yeah, making the villains stronger, like making Battle Beast pretty much just being able to fucking mollywop Mark is just. I mean, that was crazy. I really thought they were gonna fucking kill him right there. I was like, damn, this is gonna be a short end of this show. Man. I was like, damn.
This was a short one. All right, cool.
Yeah, the fact that he's dealing with real I just felt it was more real. Like when you the first time a hero shows up to a battle situation, he fucking scampers because I didn't know this shit was gonna happen. I didn't really know it was gonna go down like this. And people dying legitimately. I thought that all of that real aspect to a cartoon I thought was really cool.
No, it does such a great job at that, man. They did such an awesome job, cartoon, comic, whatever. They did just a great job in general, because at times they can do again, Superman better than Superman in terms of writing a character like Superman, like you said earlier.
Toy Man. The ultimate villain.
Okay. I will say this though. I will say this.
Condiment Man.
Condiment Man. I will say this though. Toy Man has such a great role in the Justice League series in one of the episodes. You need to watch that, James, because he has a very funny situation. And Toy Man is very funny. He's I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. I'm good at. Oh my god! It's like Batman when they had the guy who has the dummy, I can't say the word, but he has the toy dummy.
The ventriloquist.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
And he has like,
yeah,
and the dude that, and it comes down to like, is the dummy really in charge or is he in charge? Who knows? Because he's freaking
right,
crazy. But is the guy
yeah.
really alive? But no, Toyman is actually really cool in the animated series too. Like he has some really cool stuff that happens, and he actually does some cool stuff, man. Matter of fact, he even shows up in Static Shock too. Another great animated
Static
series, Static
Shock.
Shock.
Heck yeah. Heck
That's
yeah.
also great. And Toyman has a really cool role in that series too, which was pretty cool. And that's when they had Superman.
People like Static Shock was like announced or something was going on with Static Shock and everyone was all over it. People fucking fell off of that shit real fast though. And I feel like he was not given like especially for someone who's got a project still in development or whatever's going on there. Like I'm like, damn, y'all are quick to forget about my man Static Shock because
I think the problem is that so many
and
times Static Shock could get teased for something and then
uh-huh.
he never shows up.
Oh,
Like
okay.
even in the Injustice series, there was so many times where they wanted him as DLC in Injustice 1 and Injustice 2, and they teased it. And what did they do? They added him into the mobile game. And everybody was just like, that's not what we fucking asked for. We want him in the actual fucking council. What the? Yeah,
I'm
people were pissed.
excited for
I
the
was pissed too.
Injustice animated movie that's going to be coming out.
Yeah, me too. I'm extremely excited for that. I want it to be just like the game, and I want some really fucked up shit to happen.
Now is the time to buy Static books. That is legit because Static 1 went like it went crazy. It was fetching like $100 for Static 1 and I've seen it drop all the way back down back to $20 where it was chilling before the blow up.
Yeah,
And I'd say I haven't seen them. I think dealers are still smart about it, like they're still hiding them off their walls or out of their bins or whatever, but because they know like they are smart enough to do that or
right.
they've sold them all at this point. I don't know. It's either one or the other, but I feel like that book will explode again and it'll go way past the $100 mark. I think if we
Yeah,
actually get, especially if we get a live action character in a movie instead of like a TV show or something. But
that's
whatever
true.
happens. We'll just have to see.
That's
But
true.
now is
I just want
definitely
to say this.
time.
I want to say this one last thing before we wrap this up too, and it
Okay.
was just to finish off the Brother Eye thing. Tell me that wouldn't have been cool if you would have had a movie that focused on like if they would have did it slow and actually made sense of it, and then had like you eventually get into the Justice League and maybe have one of the movies like again dealing with Brother Eye, having that dude going after showing all of the weaknesses, like breaking it down one by one. Superman's biggest weaknesses, Wonder Woman's, Flash, Green Lantern. In a good world, Green Lantern would have actually been a part of the Justice League.
Right.
Aquaman, like actually showing their weaknesses. Martian Manhunter, like showing that stuff. Like, tell me that wouldn't have
Right.
been a cool movie to actually watch.
Definitely would have been
Fucking
dope.
great.
And against Cyborg as well. Uh,
Cyborg as well. That's what I'm saying. Like, and then it would have separated itself from really Ultron, and it could have been just really interesting. But
right.
instead, they just chose to just fuck it all up.
Right. Because I mean, we talked about how they rushed so much. Like we didn't get
Yeah.
really anything. I mean, even with the new Justice League movie, while people say it's better or whatever, like it was still, in my opinion, way too long, kind of boring, a little bit
Mm,
of garbage. And it's
mm,
just like
damn.
I damn. I just it still didn't win me over like it's
Right.
as a movie. Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman movie, I thought was decent. Like
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. Like we're
We're
getting
going
back on
somewhere. Yep.
track with DC. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is cool. And then
Boy, did they fuck that up with you.
they decided to just fall off again. I
Yeah.
still ain't even
Real
seen Wonder
hard.
Woman 2, man. Like I won't even bring myself to watch it.
Dude,
So
it's so bad.
yeah, I don't know.
Woo!
Man. It's just and then
Dude, just
again
get
with
some
Justice
liquor, get
League,
drunk,
get
go
way
at
up
it.
there. I'll go to sleep. Uh,
Yeah, you probably just
I-
fall asleep. I'm not gonna lie.
Aquaman got a full ass movie, but like none of the other characters got a full like. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Really? That'd be like giving us a Namor movie with before to kick off the MCU, bro. Like that's the equivalent of what that is. Like let's say like they didn't make X-Men or Spider-Man and like they're just sitting there like, you know, a movie will really kill it. Namor. Bro, like come on. And that is exactly what they did. And I was like,
Bro,
oh,
did they could spell? Did they could sell speedos?
yeah.
Soldier.
Yeah, merchandise out Speedos. Yeah, bro. Yeah, you can Namor on the butt cheeks or
Yeah.
whatever. You know, that's cool.
Yeah.
Have we mentioned Michael B. Jordan's Superman? We talked about how they were gonna do it as Clark Superman, right?
This
Instead
was
of like
this is a
actually.
no with this Michael B. Jordan one. They are actually going to do something different, but they was talking about doing a Superman movie with it being actually Clark, and that was bad. But
Gotcha.
I'm hearing a lot of rumors about the Michael B. Jordan thing, which is going to actually be a different Superman, which is actually going to be a black Superman, which is could be interesting. It's just I still wonder where is this all going now.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be a
Yeah, I don't know.
one-off? Is it actually going to mean something?
You guys scanned me. That's right, and we'll do it again. Well, I don't know all these people just jumping in here. This guy says, "Take off the shades if you have nothing to hide," says Mr. Grapefruit.
I have tons of things to hide, brother.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna put some shades on soon.
See, unfortunately, because of that rude comment, I can't consider you family.
And then who's this dude? Oh, what do we have here? I don't even know who these people are. But anyways, it's been a great episode.
It has been.
A little strange here at the end.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about people flying planes into the towers. That's fantastic. We're just gonna get out of here. See you later.
I mean, we already talked about the enjoyment that James get when he watches female volleyball. So yeah.
Oh, that's right. But anyways, guys, we are going to wrap up for this week. We do this every Monday at 7 p.m. And it's been a lot of fun. And you guys are awesome. We'll be back on next Monday at 7 p.m.
Yeah,
and,
man, you guys truly really are our family.
And family. That's right.
Yes. And I do want to say this too. We got one more.
One more. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If a man wearing nothing but green Speedo shows up and offers to help, you run the hell away. That's right.
See, that's why you're the last one. Awesome. And hell yeah, you 100%. Those are words that you need to understand, especially if you're a child and some grown man with Speedos just run up talking about so they're here to help you, smelling like fish. It is time to turn around and run away. Hopefully you get away, but if you don't, but anyway, next week is gonna be the big week because not only are we getting that video, some gameplay, it's actually gonna be a fun series, and all I'm gonna say is it really deals with justice. Let's leave it there.
Justice.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And I'm setting up my first ever show this upcoming weekend, which is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm very excited for that. And I have a sale that I'm going back into right after we're done with this stream here. So if you're not following me on Instagram at Comics for Cheap, please make sure that you're doing so. And,
he's gonna be time for the Speedo, so look forward to that.
Yeah, when I set up, I'm gonna be cosplaying as Namor, so it's just gonna be me in a green Speedo with some extra pointy ears. I'm sure everyone's gonna come to my booth and buy comic books from me because I'm doing that. There won't be anything weird going on there. I'll even make sure like I have a little bit of a butt cheek sticking out on one side too. just for the ladies, all the ladies that go to Comic.
All the ladies.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, I go every show that I go to, there's someone walking out with their butt cheeks. So why can't I do it?
Why can't you do that with some female volleyball player in the background, some lotion on the thing?
Damn it, that's what I'm saying, Chris. That's why we're family.
That's why we're family.
All right, guys. We will see you guys next week. As always, stay villainous and